Right now, protests in Madison continuing into the night after someone was hit by a car early Sunday. How protesters say police failed to respond.
Plus, NASCAR's only black driver says his team found a noose in his garage. How he and the organization are responding.
Some heavy rain overnight across parts of southern Wisconsin. Looks like those showers and thunderstorms continue. I'll have all the details in just a few minutes.
This is News 3 Now this morning.
And good Monday morning, everybody. It is June 22nd. We have a lot going on today.
Yeah, we want to get right to breaking new details on a mass shooting out of North Carolina into the newsroom in the last 10 minutes. 2 people are dead, at least 7 others injured in Charlotte. You're taking a look at video. We just got into the newsroom within the last hour. We are also just learning this happened at a block party celebrating Juneteenth. Police say several shooters fired rounds into the crowd. 5 other people were hit by cars while they tried to run away. Medics on the scene say at least 5 people have life-threatening injuries.
Now to the latest on protests downtown Madison overnight.
Yeah, demonstrators are calling for an investigation into how police responded early Sunday morning after a pickup truck drove into a crowd of more than 100 people, injuring 1 person. That truck left the scene before police arrived. Protesters returned to the streets Sunday evening, claiming this was a hate crime. In a Facebook post, activist group Urban Triage says a white person intentionally hit a black woman in that case. They also accuse officers of pepper spraying the victim and bystanders and not calling for medical assistance right away.
Now, we have heard from Madison police. Police say that a Madison fire ambulance arrived there at the scene within 8 minutes of the time they were called, 6 minutes after the first officers arrived. MPD also says officers did use pepper spray. It was to create space for paramedics to enter the scene and treat the victim.
Now, some folks at the scene told police the driver of the truck was an employee of nearby Wando's bar, but police say this is a misidentification and there's nothing to suggest a connection to the bar right now. They say the bar's owners are cooperating. In a Facebook post, Wando's said it is, quote, saddened to hear about the tragic event and its thoughts are with the community during these difficult times.
MPD says they are reviewing traffic cameras right now to identify the driver. Anyone with information is asked to contact Madison area Crime Stoppers. This morning, Fitchburg police are trying to track down a shooter from an incident yesterday. It happened near the intersection of Post and Index Roads around 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon. Investigators say a man got out of a car and fired at a different car that was driving on Post Road. That shooter hit 2 cars and 2 apartments. No injuries have been reported. Police say the shooter was driving a light blue small SUV. They're also looking for another vehicle, a newer style, possibly a black or charcoal Chrysler 300. Anyone with information should contact Fitchburg police.
To the West Coast now, there is still no one under arrest after a deadly shooting this weekend in Seattle. 1 man was killed, another is in critical condition after a shooting Saturday inside the occupied protest zone. Seattle police say they did try to respond to the shooting, but they were met by what they called a violent crowd. The 2 men were taken to the hospital by fellow protesters, but doctors were unable to save them. One of them, a 19-year-old man. Police say they are actively investigating a shooting. They do not have a description of a shooter at this point. Protesters, meanwhile, say whoever fired shots is not a part of their movement, saying their zone is not a place for violence.
A New York City police officer is suspended without pay this morning after video shows him putting a man in what looks like a chokehold. New York lawmakers just banned chokeholds that police have been accused of using earlier this month. NYPD releasing this body camera video as part of a new city directive. Other social media shows an officer applying a chokehold as well. Now, in that video, you can see the officer releases his grip when another officer taps him on the back. The man required medical treatment for a cut. As of now, he has no charges against him. This case is being reviewed for possible use of excessive force.
All right, switching gears, it is 6:03 now. Ms. Hattie McLean giving us a live look at rain that's going to stick around, Hattie.
Yeah, we do have some rain in our forecast. Here's a live look in Platteville from the Queen Bee Radio Sky Camera. You can see some raindrops on the camera lens, a cloudy start to the day there. Here's what's happening on a larger scale. A couple of systems moving through. These are very slow moving cold fronts that will lift to the north and east through the day today. So we have have the chances for rain continuing on and off through the entire day. We've already had some pretty heavy rain across parts of the area overnight. Right now, things are pretty quiet, just a few showers out there. As far as severe weather is concerned, there's a marginal risk for severe weather for about the southeastern third of the state, all of Illinois, as well as parts of eastern Iowa today. Main threats here in southern Wisconsin would be some gusty winds and larger hail. Now, here's a closer look at what we're dealing with this morning. Some light showers right along the state line right now, but they will continue to increase in coverage a little bit as we go through the next couple of hours. Starting off in the mid-60s, we're down a degree here in Madison to 65. Most spots, though, at least at 60 degrees or better this morning. Here's a look at your future track forecast model. If you have outdoor plans today, you want to pay close attention to this forecast model. By 7 o'clock, just a few light showers across the area, but many spots dry. As we go through the morning into the lunch hour, though, those showers and thunderstorms start to increase in coverage and intensity. There could be some pretty heavy rain at times as these storms move through. Take a look at 5 p.m. We top in the mid-70s today, but pretty good likelihood for some widespread shower and thunderstorm activity continuing through the evening hours. This rain will start to pull off to the north and east overnight, though, so we should start on a dry note with actually some clearing possible by tomorrow morning. Total rain as we go through the day, even into Tuesday, we see some showers pop up, some isolated thunderstorms during the afternoon hours. Again, those two-day rain totals could be up over an inch in some spots. Take a look at your extended forecast. The rain gauge really getting to work out this week. We have many chances for rain. I have zoned in on Thursday as our best chance for a dry day.
All right, thanks, Hattie. 6:06 now. NASCAR driver Bubba Wallace says his team found a noose left in their garage at Talladega Superspeedway in Alabama. Wallace, the only black driver in NASCAR's top circuit, was among those who pushed for banning Confederate flags at NASCAR events. Last week, his race car had a Black Lives Matter paint scheme. Wallace released a statement on Twitter saying the incident will not break me, I will not give in, nor will I back down. NASCAR also commented on the matter, saying it is outraged and that an investigation is underway. Despite the organization's ban on Confederate flags, they were still present outside Talladega Sunday. Before the race was postponed, cars lined the street leading up to the racetrack, waving flags, while a plane flew overhead, pulling a flag behind it. The flag and a banner here on your screen. The banner reads, "Defund NASCAR." The Racing League has not yet laid out a plan for how they plan to prevent fans from displaying the flag once inside the track.
The city of Columbus, Ohio, no longer has a statue of its namesake, Christopher Columbus, after residents criticized his cruelty to indigenous people, and it was taken down. But now, some are calling for the city to go a step further and change its name altogether. Get this, so far nearly 25,000 people have signed a petition to rename the city in honor of Columbus native Guy Fieri. The new name would be Flavortown, after the restaurateur's catchphrase. Chris is a big fan of this, by the way.
It's still funny.
The petition's organizer says the new name would not only honor Fieri, it would also put an emphasis on the city's melting pot of cultures and memorialize the city's proud heritage as a culinary crossroads. So if you weren't convinced yet, Bud Light is also getting behind the petition, promising free seltzer to all of the city's residents if they change the name.
Well, there's some incentive right there. Do you think this has any shot of actually happening?
When you throw in free seltzer, I don't know. I would.
Flavortown.
I'd sign up for a petition.
Hopefully there are some other options, like if Flavortown isn't the only one.
Yeah, maybe a poll.
Coming up, what you can expect to hear, when we can expect to hear the latest guidelines for wearing masks from the CDC and how that could affect your next trip to the airport.
Plus, the Union Terrace set to reopen today. We're taking a look at what kind of changes you can expect when you head out there. That's next. Stay with us.
Are you one of the 100 million Americans that suffer from chronic pain? Hi there, my name is Tim O'Brien, owner of The Healthy Place. I want you to know about an all-natural product called Cura Relief. With nutrients like boswellia and curcumin, it targets the root of your pain, inflammation. Most people feel a difference in less than 45 minutes. Stop the pain and the drugs naturally with Cura Relief. Stop by one of our 4 Madison-based locations or check us out online at findyourhealthyplace.com. The Healthy Place.
For 45 years, Affordable Dentures and Implants has created affordable access to dental care.
And we're proud to have helped millions of people improve their smiles. Our #1 priority is always being the health and the well-being of our patients and staff.
So, we're taking extra precautions to welcome you to a safe and clean environment.
Because we want you to go ahead and smile.
Affordable Dentures and Implants. We can't wait to see you.
Comfort Services, save up to $2,500 on a new Lennox system. But hurry, it's a limited time offer and a beautiful thing.
When looking for a TV and internet provider, we know you have a choice. This is Jessica. She still has satellite TV.
Well, I get tons of HD.
Spectrum has tons of HD, and we love Spectrum's 24-hour local news channel. Plus, we get exclusive access to premium original content with Spectrum Originals.
I don't have that.
Get Spectrum TV from $44.99 a month. Call 833-976-4499.
Spectrum Internet starts at 200 megabits with no data caps and a free modem.
We have to get internet from another company, and it isn't nearly as fast.
Spectrum Internet, $44.99 a month.
I'd switch, but I'm stuck in a contract and would have to pay up to $480 to cancel.
Spectrum has no contracts, and they'll pay up to $500 to help you out of yours.
That's it. I'm switching to Spectrum.
Get Spectrum TV and internet from $44.99 a month each. Call 833-976-4499.
The Leadership Development Program is designed for people who at some point intend to become supervisors. It would open the doors for you for a lot of different types of positions where you're going to have people reporting to you. The #1 reason I would say students should come to Blackhawk Tech is that they're going to get a great education from great instructors who understand, make the learning more applicable to them, a real quality education at a very reasonable cost.
We're back, 6:11 right now. The World Health Organization is reporting the largest single-day jump in cases of coronavirus since the start of the pandemic, confirming more than 180,000 cases worldwide just yesterday. In the U.S., the number of confirmed cases is now more than 2.2 million. Now, in Wisconsin, the number of positive tests are up for the third day in a row as well. 4.6% of tests reported positive on Sunday. That's the highest number we've seen in the last 2 weeks. Those positive tests add 280 cases to our state total, which is now growing close to 25,000. Thankfully, there were no deaths to report yesterday. So far, more than 19,000 COVID-19 patients in Wisconsin have recovered.
New CDC guidelines for wearing masks could be out as soon as today. Researchers at the center are conducting a scientific review about masks, looking at whether they protect you from COVID-19 or just simply prevent COVID-19 from spreading. Some recommendations are already up on the CDC's website. They advise you to wear a mask when you leave home and if social distancing can't be properly maintained. Airports are asking to be included in those new guidelines. Currently, there are no federal rules or restrictions for wearing masks on planes or in airports. Airlines are trying to set their own rules right now, going as far as removing some passengers from flights if they don't wear masks. But airports say they need a national policy to make sure they're all on the same page and at the same level of prevention.
Today's state education leaders are going to release a brand new report to help guide the reopening of schools. The Department of Public Instruction has been working with state health officials and education stakeholders on this. DPI says they expect schools to reopen in the fall and wanted to help districts decide how to manage all the challenges and risk factors surrounding COVID-19. Look for that report later this morning on channel3000.com. Well, it's a very big day here in Madison. The Union Terrace is set to partially reopen today.
That's only if the weather holds up.
Big if.
We have a special guest this morning to talk about the occasion. Wisconsin Union Director Mark Guthier is up early this morning down at the Union, joining us now. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So, Mark, it's dry there right now, but we have chances of rain in the forecast for today. So what contingency plans do you have in place for the opening?
Well, we're asking people to watch the weather and to know that we'll make a weather call between 2 and 3 this afternoon. So for those who have gone on the Open Table app today to make their reservation on the terrace, just watch for the weather and watch for our call on our website about whether we'll be able to honor those reservations this afternoon.
You, of course, have some restrictions in place given the pandemic that we're living through. There's a new way for folks to get food and drink. Is that right?
That's right. We really want people to think of the terrace this summer as an outdoor restaurant. That's the safest way we can provide the food and beverage to you, and so we're asking people to go on the Open Table app 9 a.m. every morning to make a reservation for an hour-and-a-half block on the terrace, and then also to come to the terrace with the Grubhub app already on your phone. We'll make all the food ordering through the Grubhub app. We'll escort you to a table, give you a table number, ask you to order your food from the table. Our staff then in masks and gloves and full sanitizing situation like all the restaurants in town are doing, will then provide the food to you. They'll bring it to the table and remove the food after you leave. So we really are turning the terrace into an outdoor restaurant for the summer.
And what were conversations like when you were considering social distancing? Did you at any point consider putting up partitions or requiring masks on the terrace?
Well, we are really encouraging people to arrive with a mask. Of course, you can't use a mask while you're eating and drinking. In lieu of partitions, we really have only 25% of the seats available. If you do make a reservation, come down to the terrace, you'll notice that we're well beyond the 6 or 8 or 10 feet of space between tables. It's really quite spread out. And then by having everyone order from their table, we are reducing the need for lines. So we don't have any lines of any kind happening, and everything's cashless. So those are safeguards we've put in place.
Mark, suffice it to say, I think we're all really excited for this. Thanks for waking up early and giving us the details.
Yes, and I hope to see all of you down here.
You will.
All right, it is nice that they have so much space out there to separate those tables. One thing they will have to contend with, though, this afternoon will be the weather. Had McLean is watching that closely.
I know. I wish I could change that forecast for today and make it better for the Union, but I can't do that. Take a live look from the WIC-TV sky camera. You can see a few of those showers to our east right now. It is dry, though, as you saw here in Madison. No rain on the patio right now. Let's take a look at Doppler track. We've been looking at these showers really diminishing over the last few hours here across southern Wisconsin, but some of those showers holding together in and around the Platteville and Dubuque areas. I would expect these showers to continue to move off to the east-northeast over the next couple of hours. The showers will increase in coverage as well. Take a look at future radar as we go through the 9 o'clock hour. You can see more rain on the map, so we're not done with the rain just yet. Dew points are going to stay high. It's pretty muggy outside this morning. Our dew points remain in the mid-60s. As you head out the door, grab that umbrella. You'll need it today. We have on and off showers and thunderstorms through the morning and into the afternoon and evening. High temperatures will be in the middle 70s.
Right. Keep an eye on that forecast all day long, folks. So there's a new shortage on the horizon thanks to the coronavirus. Banks across the country say they're almost out of change, coins to spare. The Federal Reserve says it's monitoring the situation closely and is now rationing its scarce supply of most coins. The shortage in part comes from reduced production at the Mint during the pandemic. The other part, Fed Chair Jerome Powell tells NPR, is that people are holding on to their coins. Coin sorting machines have been off limits. Businesses have been closed, and that means a lot of the coins have been in their safes, in their registers. Powell says the shortage could only be temporary as they expect to see the coins flow again as businesses reopen.
Since we're all spending more change or more time at home these days, there's a good chance you're spending more change on tech. There we go. But that can be an expensive endeavor. Consumer Reports recommends some ways to help you tame your tech budget. People spent an average of $640 in 2019 on assorted subscriptions, everything from cloud storage to music services and dating apps. For Jenny Mari Waika and her family, it's video streaming services.
We currently subscribe to Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus.
These days, families like Jenny's are looking for new ways to save money.
Our budget has to change, the same way that everyone's adapting to this new norm.
CR says a good way to start is to get rid of any apps or services you don't use, but you're still paying for. Ditch one or two, and you could save about $50 a year. CR editor Chris Raymond took a look at the charges on his own bills and found a few things he could trim.
I found I was paying for insurance on a smartphone that was 4 years old. I was also paying for DVR that we no longer use because we just stream the shows we want to see.
Even with the rising cost of streaming services, CR says cutting the cord could still save you $700 or more a year, depending on what you have now and what you replace it with.
You can use an antenna to get free network content and then choose a limited streaming service like Sling that starts at $20 a month.
If you do stick with cable, here's a way to save up to $120 a year. It's something Jenny and her family already did. They bought their own router instead of paying every month to rent it from their cable company.
We've been saving a great deal, so I think that's something that, we're happy we did.
CR says another way to save if you need more hardware in the house, consider refurbished tech. Brands like Apple, Dell, Samsung, they all sell refurbished laptops, smartphones, and tablets for a lower price. Just make sure everything you buy is certified pre-owned and insist on getting some sort of warranty.
There's a way to save a few bucks.
Yeah, good idea.
Still ahead for us on this Monday morning. There is a dust cloud making its way across the Atlantic right now. How it'll impact the weather here in the U.S.
Yes. Plus, coming up in our next half hour, Brett Favre says Colin Kaepernick should be considered a hero. Why he says his story is similar to another NFL player's. That's when News 3 Now This Morning continues.
Strength and versatility to the power of 4 at Sloan's. Get to know the John Deere 4 Family Series tractor. Get 0% for 84 months or $285 per month on a John Deere 4044N with loader. The power of 4 unleashed.
RHD Plumbing has the most reliable professionals in the industry. With honesty you can trust to deliver quality products and workmanship, dedicated to being the best. RHD Plumbing now offers complete bathroom and kitchen remodeling, the best plumbers, and everything else you need to finish your dream project. For your home or business, get the job done right the first time with no surprises with the reliable, honest, and dedicated plumbing professionals of RHD Plumbing, proud partner of the Green Bay Packers.
Your eyes are everything. They're how you see the world and connect with others. At Shopko Optical, your eyes are everything to us too, which is why we offer everything to help you see better and look better. A huge selection of designer frames, convenient locations, and experienced optometrists. We're Shopko Optical. You'll see.
You were always the responsible one, so much like me, always taking care of everyone else. But this wasn't your responsibility. I already took care of the arrangements. The Ryans made it so easy. I didn't want you to worry about a thing. It's my last gift to you, my lovely daughter.
A cleaner home is a healthier home, and now that's more important than ever. New from Stanley Steamer. Kill most bacteria, viruses, and mold in the home or office. We apply an EPA-approved, non-toxic, non-corrosive spray proven to kill most viruses, bacteria, mold, mildew, odors, and allergens that could all be potential health threats. Stanley Steamer leaves your family with a clean house and a healthier home. Call 1-800-STEAMER or StanleySteamer.com.
If you have a fear of overpaying, you have FOOP. But don't worry, US Cellular has your back with the Samsung Galaxy S25G. Free when you switch, plus no activation fees. Stream without disruption, capture and post without restriction, and do it all without FOOP. Switch and get a free Samsung Galaxy S25G at US Cellular. Choose fair.
Strength and versatility to the power of 4 at Sloan's. Get to know the John Deere 4 Family Series tractor. Get 0% for 84 months or $285 per month on a John Deere 4044N with loader. The power of 4 unleashed.
6:23, we're going to give you a peek of a picture from Scott. He sent this in from his house outside of Utica. Looks like he's got a pretty sweet setup.
Sweet locale.
We're a big fan of this, Scott. Thanks so much for sending this picture in.
We'll be waiting for that invite.
Please.
So what are you up to in the morning? Snap a picture, post it on our social media. Use the hashtag MyNews3Morning, and we'll show our favorites on the air.
You know, I think I see a grill in the corner of that picture, though, Hattie, I don't think Scott's going to be using it today.
Well, I just have to have an umbrella over his head. It's fine. We grill in any weather here, right?
Yeah, that's very true.
It's always grilling weather, right?
Yes.
All right now, there is a giant dust plume making its way more than 5,000 miles across the Atlantic from Africa to the U.S.
That's right. This thick dust is clearly visible on satellite imagery, and we'll start to see it here in the southeastern part of the country later on this week. Take a look at this. You can see its path from the Sahara out into the Atlantic and then into the Caribbean. Now, we may not see much of an impact from it here in southern Wisconsin, but there are three things that we'll see from it in the U.S. First, look to the sky. It'll look a little hazy, but that added dust will make for some beautiful sunrises and sunsets, especially from areas South Florida, the Keys, the Gulf Coast states. So watch your social feeds. You'll be seeing those sunsets later on this week. Second, we'll see a slowdown in tropical activity weather, or tropical weather in the near future. This dry air associated with this dust storm will help to suppress that activity. And finally, you know, it's not always good news. The dust can aggravate respiratory diseases, so watch out for that.
Boy, that's pretty incredible. Looks almost like a hurricane of dust.
It's huge. It's just enormous.
Certainly is. You know, it's not uncommon. This happens every year, but yeah, again, seeing that dust make it all the way to the United States is a little impressive, to say the least.
Quite something. Quite something.
Well, we have kind of the opposite. That is a dry layer in the atmosphere. We have rain in our forecast, but take a look at Willow in Middleton. One ear down, one ear up. 74 degrees at 3 with some showers and thunderstorms. So if you're taking the dog for a walk today, you'll have to take a peek at the radar first. Doppler track this morning is showing you some light showers still moving across southern Wisconsin. I do expect more rain activity through the day today, though. Probability of precipitation pretty high, even as we head into the evening hours.
All right. Thanks, Hattie. We'll be right back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
The 17th Annual Madison Area Parade of Homes, exclusively sponsored by Nuns, featuring newly constructed homes in 5 of Dane County's most sought-after neighborhoods. The newest trends, tech, and designs. Visit MadisonParadeOfHomes.com for more information.
Lately, we've found new ways to support and care for each other. And while every gesture counts, so too does every dollar. That's why American Family Insurance is returning $425 million to our customers. This includes a 10% savings for all current and new auto customers for the rest of the year. We hope this does your world some good and reminds you that supporting your dreams means the world to us. Contact your agent or go to amfam.com to learn about more ways to save.
Loving someone who is struggling with addiction is a hard feeling to describe. You know you can't control someone else, and what's happening can be difficult to understand. But know that what you can control is you and how you respond to their battle. What can you do? Love them. Create boundaries to help them. Take care of yourself. Getting overly consumed with their battle is only hurting your ability to cope with the rest of your life and others you love. And then believe in your loved one. They need the reminder of who they are, separate from their addiction. Be grateful on the good days, be patient with the baby steps, and forgive them if they take a step backward. Guide them to local resources in the Madison area by visiting unitedmadison.com/addiction. Brought to you by 5 Door Recovery, other supporters, and United Madison.
Seeing the joy that people feel when they share a meal with family and friends, that's why we do this. The laughter of kids around the table, the thrill of families driving through for a treat, the delight of not having to cook, and instead letting us safely serve you. It all comes back to taking care of each other. And for that, we'll be here with your favorites and always a smile.
Let's summer. Let's
dine out by truly dining out. Let's send smoke signals to the neighbors, then serve up the freshest of food with a side of fresh air. Let's raise our tongs to tasty by introducing our grills to new thrills and make mouths water more than a backyard slip and slide. Let's live a little more by having another s'more. Because summer is here, and no one does summer like Festival Foods.
The 17th Annual Madison Area Parade of Homes, exclusively sponsored by Nuns, featuring newly constructed homes in 5 of Dane County's most sought-after neighborhoods. The newest trends, tech, and designs. Visit MadisonParadeOfHomes.com for more information.
Right now, another night of protests after someone drove a car into a crowd over the weekend. We'll tell you why demonstrators are upset at the police response.
And don't forget to grab that umbrella before you head out the door this morning. All the full forecast coming up.
This is News 3 Now This Morning.
Good morning, folks, and happy Monday. We hope you had a great Father's Day weekend. It is June 22nd. I'm Leah Lynchide.
And I'm Chris Stanford. We have a lot to get to this morning. Josh is off, by the way. We start with breaking news overnight in Charlotte, North Carolina, where police are responding to a mass shooting that happened at a Juneteenth celebration. 2 people are dead, 7 others wounded. 5 others were also hit by cars after the shooting. Police say they found evidence of multiple shooters. They're still investigating this morning, and we'll bring you more details as they become available.
To another story developing overnight, this one locally, with protests picking back up in the downtown area again.
Yeah, this time protests were about how Madison police responded to an incident early Sunday morning. That's when one person suffered minor injuries after someone else drove a pickup truck into a crowd of more than 100 people. Before police arrived, the driver got away. Protesters took to the streets later in the day, calling it a hate crime. They also accused police of delaying their response and pepper spraying bystanders.
Overnight, police issued a statement on their response, saying officers arrived less than a minute after being dispatched. The department says officers tried to give first aid to the victim, but were surrounded by what they called, quote, an agitated and aggressive group. MPD says they did use pepper spray on the crowd to create space for Madison fire paramedics to get through. No arrests have been made yet.
New video this morning shows one of the former officers charged in the death of George Floyd being confronted after posting bail.
It is you. So you're out of prison, and you're comfortably shopping in Cub Foods as if you didn't do anything.
I wouldn't call it comfortably. I'd just say getting necessities or helping.
I don't think you should have that right. I don't even think you should be out on bail.
I can understand.
I mean, how does it feel?
I'm sorry you feel that way.
No, you're not sorry. Like, you're literally...
That is J. Alexander Kang being stopped at the grocery store. Kang was charged with aiding and abetting murder in Floyd's death. Jail records show he was released Friday night after posting $750,000 bail. His next court appearance is scheduled for 1 week from today.
The chief of the Minneapolis Police Department is speaking on the response to George Floyd's death and the original police report that said he died due to a medical condition.
So it makes you wonder, doesn't it, that if there hadn't been that video that someone took on their phone, that would have been the end of it.
And our communities have said that for many years. When these incidents occur, if they're not captured on video, are their voices going to be taken as truthful? And that
Chief Madaria Arendando says that issue cuts to the core of why there is so much distrust of police. He called the video of Floyd's death the most heart-wrenching thing he's seen in his 30 years in policing. His department has since banned chokeholds and neck restraints.
Minneapolis police, meantime, are also investigating after one person was killed and 11 others were injured over the weekend in a shooting. It happened around 12:30 Sunday morning in Minneapolis's Uptown neighborhood. Police say people started shooting while walking up the street. The 11 people who were hurt are expected to survive. Police say they don't know yet what led up to that shooting, but they have multiple detectives working the case. Meantime, in Milwaukee, a shooting also sending 5 people to the hospital early yesterday morning. Police say it happened around 3:30 Sunday morning. 5 people were shot, including a woman who later died. The car she was in while on the way to the hospital crashed into a tree, and she died at the scene. As of right now, it's unclear, though, whether she died from the gunshot or the car crash. A 29-year-old man also died in that crash.
Calls to take down statues and monuments honoring those who held slaves continue across the country. This is in Baltimore. Take a look at this, where a statue of George Washington was vandalized. You can see red paint thrown over the statue and the words "Destroy Racist" written on the base. Washington owned slaves until his death in 1797. And in New York, the American Museum of Natural History is removing a statue of Theodore Roosevelt there. It depicts him on horseback with a Native American man and an African man at his side. The museum says they're taking down the statue over concerns it symbolizes colonial expansion and racial discrimination.
It's a day a lot of people in Madison have been waiting for. Today, the Memorial Union Terrace is scheduled to reopen.
That is, if the weather cooperates. Right now, the terrace will only be operating at 25% capacity, and to get in, you'll need to make reservations. You can make them starting at 9 a.m. They're going to hold your spot for an hour and a half between 3 and 10 p.m. However, the terrace will cancel reservations and remain closed if it rains. You can find all the details you need to make your reservation. They're up on channel3000.com.
Yeah, a bit different of a setup this year with the COVID-19 concerns. They have plenty of space there to keep things nice and spread out, and doing it more restaurant style with ordering something and having somebody bring it to your table. That kind of limits interaction as well.
Yeah, you're taking a live look at the Union right now. You can see those chairs are set up at a great distance. They're well over the 6 to 8 feet, and just like Chris said, yeah, they're operating as an outdoor restaurant. They're going to bring you your food. You have to order it on an app. Lots of interesting changes.
A lot of precautions, yeah, for sure. Now, Hattie McLean, you're tracking showers out there. Any chance we get a break in some of that activity for someone to get a drink in, maybe some food out on the terrace this evening?
Please, there may be a few breaks, but again, it's going to be pretty hard to time those out right now. So if you're making reservations, just keep that in mind. The terrace chairs, though, that were out overnight have all been cleaned now. You can see the rain over the last 24 hours, a little less than a half an inch here in Madison. Amounts are significantly higher, though, in southwestern Wisconsin. Close to 2 inches estimated by the radar map there in parts of Grant County. That's due to a lone thunderstorm that dropped some pretty heavy rain yesterday evening as well. It really fell apart before it reached Madison. Now this morning, we've been keeping our eye on some showers, sometimes heavy, but generally pretty light rain and right along the state line early this morning. Look for these showers, though, to increase in coverage and intensity. You can see that there definitely is plenty of activity off to our south and west with continued development through northern Iowa. So our showers and thunderstorms will continue to roll through the area on and off today. As far as severe weather is concerned, there's a marginal risk for severe storms for the southeastern and south central part of the state. The main threats today are going to be gusty winds and some large hail if any of those storms do turn severe. Now here's a look at the probability of precipitation. Again, the terrace opens at 3, 60% chance for rain here, and you can see pretty steady chances for rain throughout the day. So it definitely is one of those days where you want to grab the umbrella. Temperatures early this morning are in the 60s, 64 in Lone Rock as well as Monroe, 65 here in Madison. It's a bit of a muggy start. You'll feel that as you step out the door. Lots of moisture in the atmosphere today. Take a look at your future track forecast model. By lunchtime, another round of showers and thunderstorms pushing through the area. Again, there will be a few breaks. We'll stop the map at 2:30. It does look dry temporarily here in Madison, but that does not stay the case through the rest of the afternoon. By 5, the rain returns. Again, it could be heavy at times. Those showers and thunderstorms will be winding down overnight. Even some clearing possible by tomorrow morning. Here's a look at rain potential. Again, that rain gauge will be pretty busy over the next couple of days. We could add up to anywhere from 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch, slightly higher amounts if you find yourself one of those stronger thunderstorms. And again, what do I mean when I say the rain gauge is going to be busy? Take a look at this 10-day forecast. There are many chances for rain. No complete washouts, and especially this week on Tuesday and Wednesday, looks like the rain will be confined to the afternoon hours.
Well, that is a wet one, Hattie.
It certainly is.
All right, thanks. 6:37 right now. Brett Favre making headlines this morning comparing Colin Kaepernick to Pat Tillman. Speaking to TMZ Sports, Favre said it's not easy to put something you love on hold for something you believe in. Kaepernick hasn't played in the NFL since 2016. That season, he started kneeling during the national anthem to protest racial injustice in the U.S. Favre compared Kaepernick to Tillman, who quit the NFL after 9/11 to join the Army and was killed by friendly fire in Afghanistan.
You know, I can only think of, right off the top of my head, Pat Tillman's another guy who did something, you know, similar. And and we regard him as a hero. So I assume that hero status will be stamped with Kaepernick as well.
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell recently said teams should look at giving Kaepernick another chance at playing in the league.
The death of George Floyd continues to affect people all over the world, but especially Minneapolis natives like Suzanne Gilreath, who graduated from the University of Wisconsin this past spring. Gilreath played basketball at UW, and her brother David played football for the Badgers. Their family grew up 10 minutes from where Floyd died. She says what happened to Floyd could have happened to her dad, her brother, or anyone else in her family. That's why she wants change here in Madison at the university.
Action speaks louder than words, too. So I feel like that's a big piece that I think universities need to do right now, is to really kind of restructure, refigure out how they're going to be more inclusive and diverse.
Gilreath says she doesn't want athletes and students to just be trendy by saying Black Lives Matter. She wants more people to look into the history of black people in America and start having conversations.
With recent tragedies, racial tensions, and Black Lives Matter protests, doctors suggest now is a pretty good opportunity to talk to your kids about race.
Amanda Quintana has more on how parents can start those conversations.
Talking about racism can be uncomfortable. For a long time, it's been a taboo topic, especially for white people. But SSM health psychologist Dr. Kathleen Hipke says now is a good time to start this conversation with kids, talking about what's a protest, what's racism, and why are people upset. She says while some parents might think their kids are too young for such a negative topic or it's too much to put on them, studies show kids are not colorblind.
From infancy, really, children start to be able to differentiate those around them based on race. And by preschool, they're very curious. By kindergarten, they're making some pretty clear decisions about playing with kids who look like them, particularly the white children. And so if we're not having conversations, even at a very early age, then basically what we're saying is we're going to kind of let the external environment shape children's beliefs.
She says parents don't have to worry about saying the perfect thing. What's important is learning together as a family, using books and TV shows, even like Sesame Street to start. Dr. Hipke says while many parents might try to shield kids from seeing rallies and police brutality on TV because it's hard to discuss, kids are intuitive. They'll pick up on the tension and emotion, and by talking, you can help children name those feelings instead of letting them try to figure it out on their own.
Amanda Quintana reporting there. Today, Middleton Cross Plains parents should be getting a survey about students returning to school in the fall. District officials say they want to hear from parents about what they'd feel comfortable with. That includes things like transportation and masks. Right now, the district hasn't made any concrete plans, but is considering students returning to school buildings, all virtual learning, or a hybrid.
We have some breaking news just into the newsroom in the last 10 minutes here. Madison police say a woman is in critical condition after she was hit by a car overnight. It happened around 1 a.m. on Cottage Grove Road, just past Stoughton Road. The suspect was in a black Dodge Charger, but hasn't been found yet.
6:41 right now. Here is a look outside this morning. It could be a wet commute for you today. Patty's got another check of our weather just ahead.
But first, one musician says if dads weren't able to get out and celebrate Father's Day this year, he's going to bring the party to them. We'll show you his unique style of concerts. That's up next on News 3 Now this morning.
The 17th Annual Madison Area Parade of Homes, exclusively sponsored by Nuns, featuring newly constructed homes in 5 of Dane County's most sought-after neighborhoods. The newest trends, tech, and designs. Visit MadisonParadeOfHomes.com for more information.
Happy 4th of July Super Sale, happening this week at the Brothers Maine. Come in now for more savings on more brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and Amana. We make upgrading your home more convenient at Maine with up to 18 months of 0% financing and expert-free delivery. Get more at the 4th of July Super Sale. More selection, more savings, and more satisfaction. And happy birthday, USA, from the Brothers Maine, your local store for more since 1938.
Rogan's Shoes retail stores are now open. When you visit Rogan's, we'll be practicing good social distancing for the protection of all customers and employees. If you would like to limit contact and have curbside pickup, just call your local store to set it up. If you prefer to shop online, Rogan's Shoes would like to remind you our website is open and we are still offering free shipping. Rogan's wants to help by providing you the best solution possible for your family. Selection, service, and savings. That's Rogan's.
Selection, service, name brands, and the second pair is half price. Visit online at roganshoes.com.
There's lots of grown-up fun in the water park capital of the world, but where? Well, where tasty drinks meet relaxing pools. That's where all the action is. Where the rubber meets the road and then meets the water. Water parks, they're here, there, and everywhere. Now, where was I? Probably somewhere like here. Nice glassware. Hungry? There's plenty more where that came from. Where do we go from here? Well, just about anywhere. Wisconsin Dells, where it's at. Plan your grown-up getaway at wisdells.com.
Here's to the road ahead. Trust Toyota to be here for you.
Now every Toyota hybrid vehicle is available with 0% financing. With fewer stops for gas, Toyota hybrids give you the confidence to go farther. See your dealer or shop and buy online. Right now, you can lease a new 2020 Toyota RAV4 Hybrid for $239 a month.
All from the brand you trust, today and tomorrow. Toyota.
The 17th Annual Madison Area Parade of Homes, exclusively sponsored by Nuns, featuring newly constructed homes in 5 of Dane County's most sought-after neighborhoods. The newest trends, tech, and designs. Visit MadisonParadeOfHomes.com for more information.
Madison's not happy treating people differently because of their race.
I've learned when I've been out reporting on the front lines that everyone is impacted differently, but it's also important to take some time to not judge people and to understand where they're coming from and why they might be angry or why they might be sad.
This is our opportunity. You do see the best in some people coming out.
This time feels different. This time, I think, a real conversation may begin.
Welcome back. We hope all the dads out there had a great Father's Day weekend. You certainly did by the looks of it.
Got out to the zoo. Yeah, we were there.
Great way to spend your day.
Oh, the weather was perfect too, and they've got a nice little setup there where it's like a one-way traffic,
safe.
to loop you through everything. And all the animals were out. It was a good time, and we had some ice cream with my little girls, so my heart was nice and full after that day with them.
Perfect weather for that. Perfect weather for me to move.
Oh, did you? Yeah, you saw your dad, right?
I did. I roped him into helping us move into our new house and hang up some pictures in the meantime, and I did feed him, so he got something out of it, but it was a great day.
Yeah. I mean, as a dad, like, you just want to spend some time.
Exactly.
Like, you want some little something for yourself. I also want to, you know,
exactly,
spend some quality time with your kids.
But that's been hard for folks because of COVID-19 and the concerns around it. Maybe you didn't get out to truly celebrate. Well, that's why one musician in Southern California decided to take the show on the road.
As you stand by me. Come on, fathers.
That is Joel Nelson there. He put a piano on a flatbed truck and drove around serenading dads at local parks. Aside from playing some tunes, he's also raising some money for Parkinson's research in honor of his late father.
Just a beautiful little setup there. I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah, the guy knows his way around the piano too. Sounds pretty good.
And all for a good cause. You mentioned earlier, you know, it's important to remember the folks who have lost their fathers already.
Yeah, it can be tough, you know, Mother's Days and Father's Days for people who have lost their folks. Yeah, they can be kind of heavy. Now, Hattie, you got a chance to see your dad yesterday, right?
I did, yes. I did some landscaping work for him. So I took a page out of Leah's sort of book, I guess.
I did promise that to my dad. I did say I'll be home to Highland to help you out some, if he would take the help, that is.
Yeah, so I shoveled a lot of mulch on Saturday and Sunday, but a good job done. Good days to do it because today is kind of wet across southern Wisconsin. If you have outdoor plans today, you want to consult the radar before you head outside. We have some light showers in the area this morning, so most of the area is actually waking up to dry conditions early this morning. That is not going to last, though, through the day. Temperatures are in the low to mid 60s right now, 65 here in Madison, 66 in Janesville. Dew points are high. We have lots of moisture in the atmosphere, and you'll feel it today with dew points holding steady in the mid 60s. Here's a look at your day planner temperatures. Again, chances for rain throughout the entire day. There will be some dry periods in between, but showers and thunderstorms are fair game even into the evening. High temperatures temperatures will be in the middle 70s today. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll talk about the week ahead. We have more chances for rain coming up later this week.
All right, Hattie, thank you very much. 6:48 now. Coming up in the morning sprint, the president's campaign is responding to claims that internet activists were the reason why turnout was so low at his weekend rally.
But first, it's June 22nd. We want to say happy birthday to Jason, Brock, Preston, and all the other kiddos turning 3 today. Thanks for celebrating with News 3 Now this morning.
Connect with News 3 Now on Facebook Messenger.
At Papa Murphy's, we knead seriously, chop seriously, and shred seriously. Because we're serious about Tuesdays, even if you're not. Every Tuesday, get a large pizza for just $10. Papa Murphy's. Change the way you pizza.
Save big money on your next project with 11% off everything now at Menards. Menards has the largest in-stock appliance selection to take home today at the lowest prices. From the moment you bring home your groceries to the last load of laundry, Whirlpool appliances are there to make your life easier. Save 11% on all Whirlpool appliances. Start saving with 11% off everything now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Who am I?
Wow, is that really me?
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes.
Celebrate this 4th of July knowing you look your best with Plexiderm.
Lifestyle expert Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video that the viewers can watch while you and I talk. And you'll notice the model has bags underneath his eyes and some sagging, and all he uses is a small amount, and that's how easy it is.
All right, what's the active ingredient?
Okay, so it's silicates that are minerals found in shale rock. And what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes in as little as 10 minutes, no prescriptions, and very little effort. And I did this to my father. We were at home, and we were screaming. 4 minutes, 34 seconds, completely gone.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. These lines bother me. They really do. And this is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It feels great. Looks even better.
I'm Neela. I'm 61 years old. I'm a professional personal trainer. It's so important to be in good health and to be fit and take care of yourself. How it makes you feel inside is amazing. Plexiderm, seriously, it fixes all that. It makes you feel as good outside as you do inside. Honest to God, it's amazing. There's nothing there. Like, the bags are gone.
And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles. So it targets all those problem areas.
So this would be a daily thing, or just when you want to like get rid of the bags? And
yeah, it absolutely could be a daily thing. You have high school reunions, you have events you want to go to, you want to look years younger, this is it.
This 4th of July is the best time to get Plexiderm for $14.95. See it work for yourself after your first application. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
On the next Live at 4, we'll meet our Pet of the Week from Dane County Humane Society.
And film critic Will Loper will be along to tell us what's new movies and shows are available for streaming this weekend.
When you think Honda, think Wild Easttown Honda in Madison.
It's 6:52, time for the morning sprint.
And we start with some breaking news from overnight with a mass shooting being reported in Charlotte. Police say at least 2 people are dead, 7 wounded. 5 others were hit by cars after the shooting. Police say they have found evidence of multiple shooters. They're still investigating this morning, and we'll bring you more details on channel3000.com.
Protesters back out on the streets overnight in Madison. They're upset over how they say police handled a situation early Sunday morning when a truck drove into the crowd, hit a person, then drove off. Protesters say police didn't respond quickly enough and sprayed pepper spray at bystanders once they did arrive. Madison police say officers responded within a minute of getting dispatched, 2 minutes of the original call. They say they did use pepper spray when the crowd got aggressive and wouldn't let first responders through.
Former National Security Advisor John Bolton says he won't be voting for President Trump in November. He adds he won't vote for Democratic nominee Joe Biden either. Bolton made the comments during an interview with ABC News last night. His book, The Room Where It Happened, detailing conversations inside the White House, is set to come out tomorrow after a judge declined to block its release.
Roger Stone says he'll seek to delay the start to his prison sentence. The former advisor to President Trump was convicted in November of lying to Congress and obstructing a congressional investigation into the president. He was sentenced to more than 3 years in prison in February, but he has yet to report to serve that sentence. President Trump says Stone is the victim of a witch hunt.
The head of the House of Representatives Judiciary Committee says impeaching Attorney General William Barr would be, quote, a waste of time. Calls to impeach Barr started after he had President Trump fire the U.S. attorney for the Southern District of New York. That U.S. attorney previously investigated and convicted former Trump lawyer Michael Cohen and was reportedly investigating Rudy Giuliani. Democrats in the House say even if they tried to impeach Barr, the Republican-controlled Senate would block the effort.
The president's campaign manager says claims that activists affected turnout at his Oklahoma rally aren't true. Social media users say they signed up for hundreds of thousands of rally tickets online with no intention of actually going. The Trump campaign team tells Politico they weed out bogus ticket requests, and the online push had no effect on Saturday's attendance. The Tulsa Fire Department says about 6,200 people showed up to attend the president's rally.
Meantime, a senior administration official tells CBS News the president never directed the coronavirus task force to slow down testing. The president caused some controversy over the weekend when he said that he told his people to slow down testing to show fewer positive results. Well, the White House now says the president wasn't being serious when he said that and made the comment in jest.
Wisconsin's Emergency Operations Center has been fighting COVID-19 now for 100 days. Their main goal at the beginning of the pandemic was to help inform people about the virus and provide supplies for communities. With no end in sight, though, and worries about a possible second wave later this year, they say they will continue working to build up testing capacity and contact tracing.
And while there are worries about a second wave, experts say the first one hasn't ended yet. COVID cases have been rising in 21 states since early June, and at least 10 recorded their highest 7-day averages last week. More than a quarter of the world's deaths related to COVID have been in the U.S. Here in Wisconsin, the rate of positive tests was up for the third day in a row, but no deaths were reported. We are expecting an update later today.
Kids as young as 8 years old can begin to show signs of being vulnerable for type 2 diabetes. A new study in the journal Diabetes Care tracked more than 4,000 people from childhood to adulthood. It found some young people had metabolism differences that could lead to diabetes decades later.
Here's something interesting. The American Academy of Pediatrics is recommending new legislation to protect children from digital advertising. The group wants a ban on all commercial advertising to kids under 7. They're also demanding lawmakers in the industry protect kids from being tracked on social media, video games, and television.
Some showers and even some thunderstorms expected across southern Wisconsin this morning. You can see those thunderstorms in eastern Iowa heading in this direction. Plan on getting wet today as we go through the afternoon and into the evening hours. Rain should diminish overnight tonight. High temperatures today will be in the mid-70s with a southwest wind shifting to the west this afternoon.
That rain could affect the opening of the terrace. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you back here tomorrow.